how has it been then? What's your isolation situation? How long have you been in isolation for?
So I think it's been 3 weeks for us now. So I'm at home with mum, and both of our jobs have just, well, they've been kiboshed really. So we're both at home, both sort of filling our time. Luckily, I spend a lot of my time normally filling it, trying to be busy. So now I'm sort of like, oh, I've got loads of stuff that I can do. I can do it without sort of worrying about time and, you know, having to be somewhere, which is lovely. But yeah, it's just difficult, isn't it?
Have you found that you've been able to like jump straight into the creative things then you've had on? Have you had like creative things on a list for a while that now you've been able to like delve into, or?
Yeah, in a way, yeah. Like one of the things I really wanted to do was start doing more covers on YouTube, like just singing, because I love that so much. And it was something that I always put off because I never really had the time. So now it's like, well, I don't really have an excuse not to. So I just sort of started doing it, and yeah, it's been really fun actually, because the feedback so far has been lovely. So I'm like, well, that's really nice, that's really promising. But yeah, I just sort of I like to keep myself busy all the time, so I just jumped straight into it.
Have you like found it difficult to be creative under these sort of restrictions, under the way, because it's like I think there's a sort of pressure, isn't there, to, because sort of like I know you're creative and the stuff that you do and people see you as a creative person, but I feel like there's also a bit of a pressure that comes with that sometimes, where it's like, oh well, they're gonna do great now, they're gonna make this thing all the time. But I've spoke to some people who've kind of said, well, sometimes it's a bit difficult because we've got spare time, but then we've also got like, I don't know, it's also really unusual. Have you found any like challenges with that?
Yeah, I think there is a sort of, you're right, there is a sort of expectation to be doing something creative all the time. And I've spoken to a lot of my friends recently who've been quite sort of stressed out by it in a way. And I said, well, the thing is, you can take it at your own pace. Like, just because you've created something already and people enjoyed it and they've encouraged you to do more, doesn't mean that you have to do that. It is initially your choice. But I quite enjoy it. Like, there might be a couple of days in the week where I might take a step back from posting as much creative stuff, but I think a lot of the people that follow me, especially on Instagram, will know that I'll be back to it soon, because I just love it. I love sharing what I'm doing with my day, even if it's something really simple. Even if I've had a bit of a rubbish day, I'll be like, look guys, I've had a bit of a rubbish day, but that's fine, because the sooner people get used to speaking about it, especially online, it becomes a safe space, and that's what we need at the minute.
Well, I've seen, I think that, and one of the reasons I wanted to chat with you as well, especially, was because I've seen how you've just you're always sort of present on social media with positive vibes anyway, and I really liked how you jumped straight into it under these circumstances as well, like sending out all the videos and walks and stuff that you're posting. I always enjoy seeing it and like it popping up and going, oh, that's nice. So I think it's really nice to sort of, I don't know, it's good to, for me, it's as if you're spreading that positive energy, which is great.
Yeah, 100%. I live for that. I just love it. If I can make someone smile or make them laugh in any way, then today is a good day. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, definitely.
How have you had to, because obviously those things you kind of do already, don't you, with keeping up to date on social media, having a presence on that. What other things have you had to, or have you had to like adapt to digitally from some of your other projects and stuff?
So I run Blue Balloon Theatre, which is a not-for-profit organisation. We do a lot of performing events, and we've started working towards shows as well. And all of the upcoming events for sort of summer and spring have been cancelled. So it's been a case of we've had to let all of our creatives know, because I produce a lot of the events as well, so I'm the one that's in charge of speaking to the sort of venues, all the creatives that are taking part, making sure they're okay. So it's been tough in that, you know, there's been a lot of sort of correspondence there, as there usually would be over email, but it's not been positive. But as you've said, like, I try and stay as positive as I can, especially with my theatre company. It's a positive outlet for a lot of people now, which is amazing. So it's been a case of, we aren't going to do this now, but we will do it eventually, and it will be exactly the same, if not better than it was. Just think of this as a really long rehearsal process.
R&D just to like discuss things that we never thought.
Yeah, but no, it's been challenging, but now we're looking to sort of start doing more sort of live events on Facebook, on Instagram, just so people are still having that creative outlet, even though it may not be in the same capacity. Because these people that we work with are so talented, and we want to share their work because, well, why not? We've got nothing else to do. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think we sort of found that it's in that weird state of like, the people are still there, the people who make the theatre and the art are still there, and we have still got ways of communicating with each other. So I think there's some things where you need to look at it and go, will this show, this show couldn't go ahead because it couldn't be what it is if it was online, but we could put our heads together and create something that's a little different for like a live video, like you say, or something like that. And that's what I think is really interesting, to see how people are kind of collaborating in this new way, which is really exciting. But it's sort of I've never seen it before to this extent, because everybody's had to get used to using like video calls and stuff. It's not just one person going, hey, I've got this idea. It's like everyone's gone, quick, we need to do it.
You're right, it is amazing. Like, it was almost such a quick turnover into being this social media based thing. I mean, for example, the other day was Showreel Share Day on Twitter and on social media, and for the first time in ages, Twitter was such a great place to be for actors. Like, people took note of you and of your talent and what you could bring, and that was really special, because I feel like it's always been a great outlet for people to share their reels, what they've worked towards. But the fact that people are really starting to take note is a really promising thing. And I've noticed that, especially with, well, all kinds of projects that people are coming up with for social media. It's great. I love it.
Yeah. I'm struggling to keep up with them all because there's so many. I'm like looking up, bloody hell. I feel, and as well, I was just saying that I was my phone then, when I was trying to send you the Zoom code, I couldn't open my apps. My apps just kept shutting because my phone is that maxed out now with like data, my usage and all stuff, because
I'm the exact same.
I've got so many WhatsApp groups that have been made for this that my phone can't cope with the amount of like pictures that are being sent through to me. So my storage is just nah.
The other day, literally, I had about 5 days straight where it just kept popping up saying you've got no more internal storage. I was like, what do you mean?
My family keep doing a quiz which has loads of picture rounds, so I've got loads of bloody pictures on my phone full of random things for a quiz.
Oh, nice.
And going back to Blue Balloon, tell me a bit about why you sort of went about setting that up, and what it is that sort of your themes, what Blue Balloon is.
Well, so Blue Balloon is it acts as a platform for any creative people, not just actors, to promote their own original work in whatever way that may be. So we work with a lot of poets, and that's something that's Blue Balloon's kind of evolved to be a poetry platform in many ways, but it wasn't originally set up to be that. I wrote a play myself, and I'd never done it before. I'd never written anything like that, and I thought that I wonder if there's a platform where I can share this quite freely with other people, perhaps do some R&D work on it. And I thought, well, why don't I do it myself? So then that was when Blue Balloon came about, and I sort of ran with it. I ran with the idea. I thought, well, post graduation, I want this to take off in whatever way that may be. I don't care whether the following is 10 people or whether it's 1,000 people. Just the fact that people know it's there if they need it, if they need support, if they need that encouragement. And now it's grown into something that I really like. I couldn't have anticipated it. I really couldn't. People know who we are. They know that we create a safe space for them to perform. Our open mic nights for spoken word and poetry they've just taken off completely this year.
Yeah,
And
I've seen as well. I've seen how the sort of because I came to one night that was at the Stage Door Bar in the Palace. That was one, wasn't it? That was a while ago.
Yeah,
And then I've seen how, following you on social media and stuff, how it's grown and grown, and the performers that you get as well are great. Like,
yeah,
I really, it's quite broad, isn't it?
yeah. It really is. Like we had, we always have a set list of performers that get in touch with us beforehand. But occasionally we get people just walking up, and they might have seen it on the sort of venue's website. They might have seen it on Facebook. It might have been suggested to them. And in our last event, me and my best friend were stood at the door, sort of taking tickets and taking money for tickets and stuff. And this guy just walked in and said, "Aya, is this an open mic?" And I said, "Yeah, it is." And he said, "Oh, what's your sort of company name?" I said, "It's Blue Balloon Theatre." He said, "Oh, tell me a bit about it." So we did. And I'm thinking, well, being a creative person, you meet different people a lot. So you got to be quite open to these things.
Yeah.
And he got up to perform at the end and he started singing. And I'm thinking, okay, interesting. Does he know that this is not a singing open mic? Like, this is a poetry open mic? And eventually he sort of segued into doing poetry. And the rhythms kept changing, and I'm thinking, bloody hell, this guy's good. I'm like, I don't know who he is, but he's really, really good. And he refused to have his picture taken or videos or anything like that. Turns out he was a really famous Mancunian poet called Mike. And I was like, what? I was like, why? How did that even begin to happen? But oh my God, it was just amazing to experience.
Yeah, wow, and that wouldn't have. It's moments like that, isn't it? The unexpected that you never accounted for. But then when it happens, everyone's like, oh, it's like exciting, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And I sent him a message afterwards, and I said, like, genuinely, thank you so much for sharing your words, because I think you inspired a lot of people. But it was almost like a masterclass. Do you know what I mean? Without it intending to be, it was, and it was really, really special.
I love people like that, though. I love people that just sort of, they just come in and they're all like dead modest and unassuming, and then they just get on the stage and then they just become like this other thing in it, and it's like they've got that passion and energy, and they become the work that they're presenting, don't they? It's well exciting.
Yeah, completely. No, it was fabulous. It was a really, really good night. But yeah, we do them a lot.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, and it's exciting to see. It's exciting to see how it could potentially adapt for now while we're sort of in lockdown, but also excited to see what comes about in the future as well with those projects that you talk about and stuff.
Yeah, definitely. No, it's exciting. I feel like we don't really take anything for granted. We just we embrace whatever comes our way, and then, if it takes off into something bigger, then amazing, we'll do that. Best way to be.
It's definitely a good outlook to have, isn't it?
Yeah.
What do you, looking at outlooks and stuff, what is it that you sort of, the whole way of, like, we've changed now really rapidly in the recent circumstances, what do you hope for in terms of change afterwards? Like, do you hope, is there any change that you hope that we come out with after all of this?
Yeah, I think the main thing that's been on my mind really for the past couple of weeks is, I hope that social media remains this safe space that it has become, because more often than not it's used as an outlet to sort of slate people. And whether it's from the news or people commenting on it, or people sharing their thoughts, but not necessarily in a constructive way. Whereas now people have started to use it in a really positive way in saying, you know, I'm not having a really good day, and then people will comment with positive words. Or it might just be like myself, I'll post something in the hope that people will, you know, they'll smile and laugh and go, actually, that's taken me out of my own head for a little while, and that's made me feel better. But that's the main thing that I hope for, that, you know, we can still have this sense of unity. Yeah, and keep our sort of communication quite as positive as it can be on social media.
Yeah, I think it's important, and it's also one of those things that is like, everybody is different at this time, and I think, but everyone will go through similar sorts of emotions, won't they, where there's ups and downs like anything. But I think because we're so sort of isolated in our own minds as well as our own homes, there's sort of times where it's quite loopy. So it's good to see that there's things out there to support people when they are down, and people can kind of help each other when they're up and down. Hopefully.
Exactly, and that's what it's about, isn't it? Especially in this situation, because we are all stuck at home. You know, one walk a day does not cut it for a lot of people. I know it doesn't for me, because I just love being outside, but we've got to deal with it, and the way to do that is keeping social media, which we're using more and more, a really positive place. So yeah.
And I can't let you go without talking about smoothies. You've got so you make a smoothie every day, or is it like...
Right, so I don't make a smoothie every day, because I feel like that would be a little bit excessive on my part.
Yeah, isn't it?
But I do, I'm very into my sort of, I love fruit, and I've loved fruit since I was like 1.5. I eat so much of it, which is difficult in our current situation, where you can only buy 3 of everything at the shop. And I'm like, well, what about my bananas? But yeah, I do try and make them as frequently as I can. I've started making smoothie bowls as well as smoothies, and what I try and do is tell people what I'm using, why I'm using it, what it's good for, and that you can use it as, sometimes you can use it as like a meal substitute, make it a bit more fun, a bit more creative. That's what I love about it, is the fact that you can literally wake up and be like, yeah, I'm going to throw this in. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And it's just something a little bit different than going, oh yeah, I'm going to have some toast this morning. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, well, I think you've inspired me to get back into smoothies. Smoothie time was...
Yes.
Because I went through a stage of, I used to make smoothies a lot, and then that was years ago. So now I'm like, right, get the blender out.
Honestly, I've had so many messages. Like, one of my close friends from work messaged me to say that she'd ordered a blender.
Oh.
I was so happy. And then I've had a message this morning, just before I spoke to you, asking my advice, for my help about what kind of mix they should use. And, you know, I don't like this, but I like this. And essentially, it's whatever you want to put in it. Like, a lot of people don't like really, really sweet smoothies. They like something a bit more substantial. So I'll be like, oh yeah, put some oats in, put some peanut butter in.
I love it. You're going to be on This Morning soon.
I know, hey, fingers crossed. That's the hope. Maybe I need to post more of those videos on YouTube. Then that might happen.
Yeah, get it.
You inspired me now.
But it's good to see that you're keeping the positive vibes going and stuff, and definitely keep up all the social media stuff, because I'm in there, I'm tuned in.
No, I will.
But it's good to chat to you, and thanks very much for chatting with me as well.
Likewise. Thank you. I love all your videos, by the way. I like binge watch them. It's become a bit of a Netflix series. I just binge watch them. They're great.
Thank you. I've got a few more coming out very soon, so I'll be posting a bulk of them soon, hopefully. And I was gonna say, next time you come past my house, give me a shout on your walk.
I will. You know what? We missed you by about 2 minutes the other day.
Posted stories at similar points, but across the road.
I will. Hiya, Josh.
All right. Well, I'll speak to you soon.
All right, speak to you soon. Take care. Stay safe.
Bye.